Welcome, one and all, to the monthly show on this channel that hardly anyone ever watches because YouTube hates me, and we cover what is basically regarded in internet years as ancient history at this point, so, but I'm committed. I am a Weebo of my word. We are doing this, and in the words of a certain YouTube internet shill, let's just get into it. The bastion of top-notch reporting and journalistic ethics of TMZ has reported that the North Korean dictator, formerly known as Kim Jong-un and regarded by his people as both godlike and having divine ethereal powers, has allegedly ascended as ethereal sky daddy to the masses just this past week, most unfortunately, after a botched heart procedure. In the exact same article, TMZ also reported that the supposedly dead ruler was in a vegetative state, which is not quite dead, is mostly dead, but not quite dead. This news has since led to a plethora of memery on the interwebs, effectively granting our chubby dictator a higher status upon this earth than even ethereal sky daddydom could ever have brought him. Let's be real. And while those are likely simply just rumors, reportedly, people are just as excited that North Korea, the progressive wonderland that it is, will at long last have its first woman dictator in the form of the departed's sister, Kim Yo-jong, who will be the first woman dictator to ever grace this earth. She's allegedly feared by her people and the head of North Korea's propaganda department, but thank God we have a vagina in power now. I'm sure everything will be fine. This will make everything better. No one has to worry about a goddamn thing. In news more central to where I live, we have to discuss America's favorite socialist, perhaps for the very last time. Oh, no, he's not dying too. It's just, at long last, Bernie Sanders has officially solidified his position in history as completely irrelevant earlier this month when he dropped out of the presidential election, leaving a lone senile wannabe Hillary clone in the form of Joe Biden as the Democrats' only hope to regain power in the endless tug-of-war for America's hearts and soul. Bye bye, Bernie. Why have you gone away? And speaking of throwbacks to the 2016 election, yes, that's starting to get old, but you know what? It just keeps happening. I don't know what is going on. It just does. This year's chosen Democratic contender has found himself in hot water, similar to his predecessor, Hillary Rodham FBI Director James B. Comey cost me the election Clinton did in her run of things. But not exactly in the same nature. It's more Bill-esque in nature, if we're being completely honest. At least the allegations are. Although perpetually pressed for any clue, given his perpetual state of sundowner syndrome, Joseph Robinette Lemmy Sniff That Biden Jr. has found himself in a bit of a pickle, putting this election in a rather interesting position. For those of you who are unaware, in March of this year, it was reported that Tara Reade, a former staffer of Joe Biden's Senate office, had been sexually assaulted by the presidential candidate in question in a hallway in 1993. Since then, reports have come out corroborating that this has been a thing out there since at least the mid-1990s. Not only has it been out there in the form of a neighbor supporting the claim that they knew about the allegations at the time, but also in the form of a Larry King clip from August 11th, 1993, with someone alleged to be Tara's mother having this to say.
We're back. A couple more phone calls on this very important topic. Our guests are former United States Senator Howard Baker, Richard Allen, former National Security Advisor, and Lois Romano of the Washington Post. San Luis Obispo, California. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm wondering what a staffer would do besides go to the press in Washington. My daughter has just left there after working for a prominent senator and could not get through with her problems at all. And the only thing she could have done was go to the press, and she chose not to do it out of respect for him.
Or she had a story to tell, but out of respect for the person she worked for, she didn't tell it.
That's true.
Now, that is by no means damning, but it is something. This allegation from Tara Reade, regardless if it's true or not, has in fact created a rift in the Democratic voting bloc between the diehard Me Too advocates and those filthy casuals who only do it for cool kid points when they deem it politically advantageous. See Kavanaugh. There have even been people so adamant as to the innocence of America's poster child for dementia to such a degree that certain parties have gone to great lengths to tie Miss Reade to the ever-looming Russian narrative. I kid you not. Regardless of what is the truth, I find myself thrust into the throes of a Nam flashback related to the Kavanaugh debacle, as I stated earlier. Grateful, however, that despite whatever happens in this instance with these allegations, I will likely not have to sit through another 8-hour-long hearing twice. I hope.
As far as Biden is concerned, how do Democrats square with the idea that they're essentially they're standing by Biden, but they're using a comparatively different standard with Kavanaugh when he demanded a investigation on Justice Kavanaugh, when a very similar allegation came out on him.
Well, let me just say, I respect your question, and I don't need a lecture or a speech. Here's the thing. I have complete respect for the whole Me Too movement. I have 4 daughters and 1 son, and there's a lot of excitement around the idea that women will be heard and be listened to. There is also due process, and the fact that Joe Biden is Joe Biden. There's been statements from his campaign, not his campaign, but his former employees who ran his offices and the rest, that there was never any record of this. There was never any record. And that nobody ever came forward, or nobody ever came forward to say something about it apart from the principal involved. I am so proud. The happiest day for me this week was to support Joe Biden for President of the United States. He's a person of great integrity, a great concern for the American people. He authored the Violence Against Women Act when he was the chair of the Judiciary Committee in the 90s. He has been an advocate for funding it all along since then. And I believe that he will be a great president of the United States. He is the personification of hope and optimism and authenticity for our country, a person of great values. So I want to remove all doubt in anyone's mind. I have a great comfort level with the situation as I see it, with all the respect in the world for any woman who comes forward, with all the highest regard for Joe Biden. And that's what I have to say about that.
If they did have another hearing, I would be obligated by my principles regarding innocent until proven guilty, which I fully stand behind, to watch the whole goddamn thing and assess it critically in a damn near hour-long video as I did with the Kavanaugh thing. And I really don't want to do that again. Please. So, and this will be the only time that you hear me say this, thank God for partisan biases. In other what the fuck news, furries. This is going to piss you off as it did me while I was reading it and looking for news about this. But in a most unsurprising turn of events, police have arrested a furry couple for committing unspeakable acts of violence upon not just a person, but their fellow dog. Not my best joke, I'll grant. Dogs, for one, are too good for to be compared to this pair of... Honestly, words escape me. Because there are no words that could adequately describe the disgust I feel for these pair of just... This just goes to show, you should absolutely, and without a doubt, stay away from furries on the internet. And especially Craigslist. They might try to murder you. And also, might be guilty of skinning a dog, their dog. A dog who only loved them for its pelt to create a fursuit. I'm getting some serious Silence of the Lambs vibe here. Perhaps it's a good thing that Armageddon is upon us at last. A blessing in disguise of an illness. In other news, I have a clip for you.
This is Tori. She fell in love with Travis. And Ethan. And Mark. And Chris. Their four-way relationship is working wonders for them.
I never covered it when it was going around a few months ago. But, you know, now's as good a time as any, I suppose. Because there has been an update to this polyamory story that was going around. And it's a doozy.
How will this poly relationship cope with a further addition to the family?
And so who's the father of the baby?
What on earth could possibly go wrong with this scenario? Me wonders. Polyamory man, celebrated by media, now charged with abusing infant.
How will this poly relationship cope with a further addition to the family?
I think this one is the one that qualifies for a deep and audible sigh. So, And also, in addition to the audible sigh, it's gonna get a rage-induced anger fest. Because of course it is. I mean... This right here. This is the face of a baby abuser. Poly. Not even once, guys. Slippery slope. Very, very slippery slope. That one is. You have to be a special kind of man to babysit your girlfriend's boyfriend's child and remain completely chill about it. But dear God, taking it out on a 5-week-old child to this degree, I don't want to describe it because it's frankly, very upsetting to me, as you could probably tell. Very upsetting. You can read the article, it's linked in the description. But this is a whole nother level of special type of man. You know what I'm saying? Just... I'm gonna have a conniption. That face right there, yeah, deserves a spot in prison. As Jose's bitch boy with the soap alongside the furry couple as well, let's be honest. I don't think anyone's gonna be missing this sorry excuse for a sack of skin on this planet Earth. And that was the news. Join us next month for when I rage against the machine and shout into the void, the abyss. And it shouts back, "No one gives a fuck, Weebo!"